Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for October the 26th, 2024. It is the last Weekend Magic before Halloween. It is essentially the official end of the Happy Haunt Hunt, although let's face it here, on Void of Intelligence, the Happy Haunt Hunt never really ends. If there's Haunted Mansion things to pick up, I will find them and pick them up if they're reasonably priced. And of course, being now less than a week till Halloween, of course means that, one, we're still going through the 13-day Simpsons Funko Pocket Pop Treehouse of Horror Spooky Countdown. Got some of my favorite ones over here. And although I think you can't actually see my favoriteest one of them all so far, which is Kaiju Homer. But if you're interested in that, those videos are running every morning until Halloween. And of course, it's also time to start looking at holiday stuff, because being as it's almost Halloween, these stores have pretty much all switched over to Christmas. So yeah, we'll start looking at holiday stuff pretty soon, I am sure. We do already have some ornaments and stuff, so there's already stuff ready to go for that. But as you may have guessed at some point watching the channel, I am a fan of the Haunted Mansion, Disneyland's The Haunted Mansion. It is the best ride at Disneyland, the best in storytelling, the best in theming, the best ride at Disneyland. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. It's okay to be wrong. And when you collect Haunted Mansion things, you are naturally going to accumulate a few Madame Leotas. And here's just a small sampling of our Madame Leotas here in the Void collection. We have other things as well. I mean, I have, statues and popcorn buckets and ornaments and pins and Funko Pops. Sadly, no Lego. And also, sadly, no Disney Dorable, because that only came in, I guess, certain special packages, and I was not lucky enough to get one of those, nor was I going to buy all the Haunted Mansion Dorables again, just in the hopes of maybe getting Madame Leota. But here in the Void collection, we do have Leotas of many sizes, ranging from the very small to the almost life-size. Sadly, I do not have a life-size one. The only life-size one I've ever seen for sale, frankly, looked like duty, and I didn't want them. But seeing as we are wrapping up the Happy Haunt Hunt season, wrapping up spooky season, I did pick up one last Madame Leota for us to look at this year. I mean, technically, my wife picked up, this is one that I had kind of seen, and I was, to be honest, gonna just kind of sleep on it. If we found it, great. If we didn't, the world would live. But my wife decided that, no, we did have to have this. And so she ended up ordering it from Target. They didn't have it in stores. She had to order it from the Target website. We haven't seen it in any stores yet, even though I kind of expected it to be in like Barnes & Noble. She found a video that said it was at Marshall's, and we looked at Marshall's, and Marshall's has a surprising amount of like collector stuff, but not this. And it is, as you may be able to guess, Madame Leota. Disney, The Haunted Mansion, Madame Leota Crystal Ball with Light and Sound. And it comes with a little book. And the reason I expected this to be at Barnes & Noble is I kind of thought this would be on that little spinner rack they have at the cash wrap area, the little impulse rack that has like, the world's smallest Zen garden and the little clown bop bag you can hit with your finger and Maneki Nekos and the little talking Zoltar. And I have the little talking Zoltar, which is why I kind of expected it to be there, but at least when we've been in the Barnes & Noble, it hasn't been there. So she ordered it off of Target, and now it is here for us to look at. It was by Hachette Book Group. So again, I think that's who makes, I mean, of course I know Hachette is a big deal publisher, but I think that's who makes a lot of those things on the impulse rack. So I'm sure now that we have one, next time we go to Barnes & Noble, they will have it. It's under the RP Minis line. And I think she paid about that. $15.95 is the sticker price. I think she told me she paid like $17. So, I mean, not a huge inflation. But there's words here. Let's read the words, and then we'll open her up and play with her. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion, and this mini replica of the Madame Leota Crystal Ball. This collectible set includes 3-inch laser-etched crystal ball that lights up and plays Madame Leota's spirit summoning incantation, a mini Madame Leota spellbook from regions beyond. So yeah, not a lot to it. It does take 2 AAA batteries to run, it says, not included. So I did grab a couple. Hopefully they actually work. If not, we will take a little pause and I'll go grab some more. Copyright Disney. Comes a little book. I think Zoltar came with little cards. Let's open it up and take a look at Madame Leota. So saying that it's laser etched, I'm kind of thinking it's going to look similar to the ornament we picked up this year. That ornament is from like a number of years ago. This is this year's ornament. So I'm thinking maybe it'll look a little similar to this, although the picture looks more like Madame Leota as she looks in the ride. This is kind of a youthed up Madame Leota. It's a nice ornament. It's of the Leota ornaments I have, I think it's my favorite. Because let's face it, this one looks, I don't know, a little Medusa-ish. She looks a little evil. And they like released a later version of this where it was like had like a green tinge to it, which I think looked worse. But, you know. I definitely think this is a vast improvement though. Even if it doesn't like fit in the theme of the other Haunted Mansion ornaments they've put out. I think this first one's like actually a sketchbook though. Let's see if we can keep talking while we try to get Leota out of her box. I've got it open now, so that's a good chunk of it. This is a lot heavier than I expected it to be. Because yeah, I thought this would just be like some little like hollow like this, like hollow but plastic instead of glass. I think it's glass. But no, this is like a big old chunky marble in there. It's quite heavy. It is much heavier than I thought it was going to be. There's instructions here. I don't think we'll need those, but let's pop them out just in case. So we have basically this is where the actual lighting and talking comes from. So let's open that up and pop some batteries in it. And hopefully they'll work. Oh, we put some batteries in. Oh, for which I reckon I will actually need the batteries. All right, so we got our batteries installed. Take a look at the base. It's got kind of a felty sort of a fabric on top here. It's got a representation of the thing that she rests in. Not the best one, but I guess it does look similar to the one in the little Madame Leota diorama I have up on a shelf that I can't show you because it's up on a shelf and I can't get it down easily without making a large mess. But this kind of look like the same sort of, I mean, the one there is like, doesn't have this bowl, but that's probably for stability. Because if this was actually more of like a frame, like the one in the diorama is, it probably would not support the weight of this giant marble. Let's take a look at the giant marble. Because that's actually what I'm interested in. I'm interested to see if it looks similar to that. Because I really do like the way that looks. And it's bigger, and it's, oh, okay. You know those booths they have in the mall that will like etch your family photos into like a glass block? It's like that. So it actually does look like a three-dimensional representation of her in the ride. Now I don't know how well you can see it in the camera though, because I can barely see it like in person. And I feel like it's getting like the glare of the lights and stuff are probably, you know, maybe it'll work better when we actually like light her up. So there we go. It's pretty nice actually. I mean, it's not as clear and visible as the one in the ornament, but you do have, like, you can look at the back of her. Oh, that actually kind of is better looking at her from reverse, because it kind of creates that library bust effect. So, can we put some behind it to make it easier to, no, that doesn't make it easier, does it? But it kind of makes it look like she's looking down, at least to me. But kind of gives her that follow you as you move around it kind of thing if you do it backwards, like, you know, like the way the library busts work in the actual ride. All right, let's see if it works if the batteries I put in there actually function. And
rough monotone. It's time to respond. Send us a message from somewhere beyond.
Interesting. I think you can see it better. Let's turn some lights off. Just get a little dimmer in here. All right, how about now? Is that better?
Goblins and ghoulies from last Halloween. Awaken the spirits with your tambourine.
So none of her moments are particularly long. Let me put the mic a little closer to it so you can hear it better. because you probably couldn't hear it very well before, but I think the light, and with some of the lights off in here, it does make it a little easier to see.
Creepies and crawlies, toads in a pond. Let there be music from regions beyond.
Honestly, for being like the world's cheapest speaker, it doesn't sound awful. And they haven't tried to do the echoey effect, because like normally in the ride it has that echoey effect, and they aren't doing that with her here. They've like edited that out. Let's try it reverse and see how it looks in the camera.
Wizards and witches, wherever you dwell, give us a hint by ringing a bell.
So I think when I do it reverse, so it kind of looks like she's looking down on us.
Serpents and spiders, tail of a rat, call in the spirits wherever they're at.
Honestly, let me put the mic back on. For $16, that's not bad.
Rap on a table. It's time to respond. Send us a message from somewhere beyond.
If you're in a room that's not like massively massive, like this room usually is, it shows up pretty well. I mean, if I turn all the lights off, it'd probably show up even better. It's a good little book, though. We have Madame Leota's Spellbook from Regions Beyond. It's got a very stiff spine. I don't want to break it. Make your final arrangements. We've been dying to have you, the Ghostess. So is that what they're calling Little Leota? Is Little Leota the Ghostess? Is that a canon name? I've never heard her called the Ghostess. We have little spells in here. A spell to protect from dangers beyond. Okay, well, I think we can all use that. Here, let's get some extra light on it. There we go. Of course, now you probably can't read it at all because it's probably glaring on the camera. Guardians of light, shield strong and bright, defend against beasts that prowl the night. Circle of safety bound by the stars, keep away creatures both near and far. Mystic barriers rise from the ground, against tooth and claw let us be sound. By moon's soft glow, by sun's fierce might, ward off the wild with protective sight. I mean, I don't think those are from the ride, but that's, it works. Got some little imagery of, or some stuff from the ride. Spell to throw a ghostly gala. Spell to shield the spectral sanctuary. About Haunted Mansion and Madame Leota. The Haunted Mansion theme park attraction opened at Disneyland in Anaheim, California on August the 9th, 1969. Madame Leota's treasured grimoire, often referred to as her spell book, is displayed within the Haunted Mansion of Disneyland in California. There's more. Let's gotta turn the page here. The Magic Kingdom in Florida, and Tokyo Disneyland. And there's a little, I'm not going to read all of that, but of course we have her tombstone on the end here. Which of course we got one of those this year too. Spell to look into the depths beyond. Spell to open a sacred crypt. Well, I think we'll finish this video up. We'll wrap it up. Call it a week. I'm keen with it. Honestly, for $16, I think you could do a lot worse for $16 than this Madame Leota. It's not the highest resolution, like, printing of her in there, but it does look like her from the ride. I mean, honestly, of all the Leotas here, it's probably the most faithful to her on-ride appearance. I mean, short of that one with it powered up. And if you haven't seen that powered up, there's a whole video on that from a while ago. You can go and watch that. Yeah, I mean, that's actually, for $16, that is better than I would have expected. It's not just like a little plastic thing with a head in it. It's actually etched in there fairly nicely. It's like the world's cheapest speaker, but it doesn't sound awful. And the light does do a good job of making her visible in a way that she's really not to the naked eye. But I'm interested to know what you think of her. I'm actually, for what it is and what it costs, I'm impressed. But I want to know what you think. I mean, the base is a little I feel like you could probably customize that to look much more impressive, but the sound, for as cheap as the speaker is, isn't bad, and the face looks pretty darn good, again, for what it is.
Call in the spirits wherever they're at.
And again, also is probably one of the more accurate representations of her face in my collection. But still, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will thank you for watching. I hope you found this all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out the 13-day spooky countdown if you want to see what Treehouse of Horror Funko mini pops, or pocket pops rather, we are pulling out of that. And I will see you in the next video. But first, a spell. A spell to throw a ghostly gala. Ghosts of the past, both joyful and grand, heed this call, take a spectral hand. From every corner, every spirited hall, gather together for the ghostly ball. With moonlight as spotlight, shadows shall twirl, in a dance of ages, let the magic unfurl. With laughter and whispers, the night takes its stride, as spirits dance gracefully, side by side. And I'll see you in the next video.